It's fair to say the live-action DC Extended Universe hasn't been as good as fans might have hoped. In an attempt to keep up with the far superior Marvel Cinematic Universe, the franchise has been rushed, with the Justice League assembling after only 2 of the team's members have been given what you would call a solo origin movie. With that in mind, it's been a target of heavy criticism, but 2 of the franchise's characters have been singled out for praise: Wonder Woman and Aquaman.
Alright.
But are the DCEU versions of these characters different to the comic book versions? This video suggests that they might be, as we look into the idea that the DCEU versions of Wonder Woman and Aquaman could actually be Kryptonian. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's the best way of keeping up to date with all of Screen Rant's great new videos.
What are you?
You will soon find out.
Gal Gadot first appeared as Wonder Woman in 2016's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, before both getting a solo movie and appearing as a member of the Justice League in 2017, while Jason Momoa was introduced in a Batman v Superman cameo before appearing more prominently in Justice League. Both characters are set to feature heavily in the franchise going forward, with Aquaman's first solo movie getting a Christmas 2018 release and Wonder Woman's sequel coming next year.
The gods created us, the Amazons, to influence men's hearts with love and restore peace to the earth.
For those of you who don't already know, let us start by briefly explaining the classic comic book origins of both Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and a little bit more about them. Wonder Woman, who also goes by several other names, such as Diana Prince, is generally presented as an Amazon princess. Her original origin depicted her as a clay figure who was brought to life by the gods.
I had no father. My mother sculpted me from clay, and I was brought to life by Zeus.
Well, that's neat.
But she has more recently been depicted as the daughter of the Greek god Zeus and the Amazon queen Hippolyta. Armed with powers of a god, Wonder Woman is one of Earth's most powerful defenders of peace and promoters of love, truth, and equality. And of course, she's a prominent member of the Justice League. She's often considered as the archetype for the comic book superheroine and possesses the powers of super strength, speed, durability, and flight. And she's rarely without her lasso of truth, bracelets of victory, and a razor-sharp royal tiara.
Arthur Curry.
Also known as Protector of the Oceans, the Aquaman. I hear you can talk to fish.
Aquaman, whose real name is Arthur Curry, is the son of an Atlantean queen and a human lighthouse keeper from the town of Amnesty Bay. He grew up to take on his birthright as the true king of Atlantis. He's a founding member of the Justice League and one of DC Comics' most recognizable and underappreciated superheroes. He's super strong, fast, and durable. He can communicate with ocean life, and obviously, he can breathe and generally function exceptionally underwater.
Do you talk to fish? The water does the talking. Of course.
And that brings us swiftly onto the DCEU versions of each character. From what we've been led to believe so far, the 2 characters have the same backgrounds as their comic book counterparts. But could a future revelation be that they're actually the descendants of Kryptonians? That's what this theory suggests. Wonder Woman's solo movie revealed that although her naivety meant she believed her mother's story about her being sculpted from clay and brought to life by Zeus, she was indeed the biological daughter of Zeus and Hippolyta. But this theory claims that her parents have Kryptonian roots.
She took me in.
What a saint.
You dare speak of Queen Adlana that way?
Your queen left me on my father's doorstep and never gave me another thought.
Your mother left you to save your life.
Aquaman's origins haven't been fully explored in the franchise yet, but it's generally believed he was born to the very human Thomas Curry and Atlana, the Queen of Atlantis. But again, this theory suggests Atlana's roots are Kryptonian. The idea that they might be made from the same stuff as Henry Cavill's Superman comes from the fact that the likes of Zack Snyder and his team have a clear interest in building a grounded reality for the DCEU. Part of that idea involves boosting the importance of Earth to Superman's mythology by making it one of the many planets that Kryptonians had attempted to colonize. The general belief is that their attempts failed, but what if they didn't actually fail at all? In the DCEU, the Fortress of Solitude is actually Scout Ship 0344.
Our race spread out through the stars, seeking new worlds to settle upon. The scout ship was one of thousands launched into the void.
A Kryptonian scout ship that crashed on Ellesmere Island some 18,000 years ago. Some fans have theorized that the survivors of that crash split into two groups and colonized different parts of the world. It makes a heck of a lot of sense. Historically, Earth has been made up of a much larger percentage of water than it is now, so one of the two surviving groups may have adapted to that world by creating a society deep beneath the ocean's surface. The other group may just have been lucky enough to stumble upon an island near ancient Greece and colonized it, before the previous attack on Earth by Steppenwolf killed off the male population of said island. And what event would finally bring these ancient Kryptonian civilizations out into the public eye? Well, what about the sudden appearance of a fellow offspring of Krypton? That would surely do it. You may remember when 2013's Man of Steel was released that another fan theory suggested it was Aquaman who saved Clark Kent when he fell into the ocean after the oil rig accident. It would make sense that the supposedly Atlantean hero would want to save a fellow son of Krypton, if indeed that's where his origins truly lie.
Your ancestors called it magic, and you call it science. Well, I come from a place where they're one and the same thing. Your world is one of the 9 realms of the cosmos.
The whole thing could work similar to how the Marvel Cinematic Universe explained Asgardians as beings that humans interpreted as being gods. In the DCEU, ancient Greeks could have developed entire godly belief systems based around their encounters with the surviving Kryptonians. This would be much easier for DC and Warner Bros. When it came to branding, and it would make the universe more cohesive, believable, and easier to understand, especially for non-comic book fans. It would also explain why the power levels of Superman, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman are relatively similar. While they differ ever so slightly in terms of things like strength, speed, and durability, the difference is no more than the difference between 3 random humans in terms of scale factor. And for 3 entirely different humanoid species to be in the same ballpark would be one hell of a coincidence, especially when you consider how much more powerful they are in comparison to humans. The unique powers and abilities that each of the 3 characters possess can also be explained by evolution and adaptation. Aquaman and his people have been living underwater for generations, so they're bound to have developed some water-based abilities. Wonder Woman's people have had contact with ancient Greece, so the mystical influence of that civilization is reflected in their abilities. While Superman was born on Krypton, which could have had an effect on the way in which his powers develop.
Oof. You're gorgeous and fierce and strong and I know we went to war with the Amazons, but that was before my time. Hey, you know what? I don't want to die.
All things considered, it's a pretty interesting and rather convincing theory, and it would certainly differentiate the DCEU from the comics on which it's based. The fact that Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Superman have all joined forces as part of the Justice League would also seem almost prophecy if they all turned out to be Kryptonian. How fans would react if it did turn out to be true remains to be seen, however.
You say a word about this, you'll meet every piranha I know.
But we do know how controversial changes from the source material can be. Just look at the Mandarin in Iron Man 3 for evidence of that.
My name's Trevor Slattery.
What are you?
Don't hurt the face, I'm an actor. Just a role. The Mandarin, see, it's not real.
And that is the end of our video. Did you enjoy it? Do you think the DCEU's Wonder Woman and Aquaman might be Kryptonian? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Screen Rant for more great videos like this one. Bye for now.